So, first of all, tell me a bit about Sumo, what it means, and then we'll go on to the six principles. But what's Sumo all about?
As an acronym, it stands for Shut Up, Move On, which I always say is not as aggressive as it sounds, and I'm not suggesting that you say it to your customers if they've got a complaint. It might be a phrase to say to ourselves, though, sometimes when we're getting a little bit bogged down in our own negativity. But the shut up bit really is about take time out, stop, think, reflect, press the pause button. You know, we do a lot of stuff on autopilot without consciously thinking about what we're doing. Sometimes it's good to shut up. The move on bit then is, okay, having done the reflection, move on and take action, because the key thing is life does not reward good intentions. It's all about action. And I'm very much of the believer that tomorrow can be different from today if you want it to be, but you have to take some action. Interestingly enough, what I discovered recently is also in Latin, sumo means to choose. So the phrase sumo vita means to choose life. And I think now, again, more than any other time, we need to make some wise choices, and hopefully Sumo can help people do that.
So you've got six principles that you use. Can you take us through those principles and very briefly explain what each one means?
Sure. The first one is called change your t-shirt. Imagine that what you thought about yourself and about life was encapsulated in a word or phrase and was on your t-shirt. I think for some people, if they were honest enough to admit it, some people are wearing the victim t-shirt. And I think the media, my own personal opinion, encourages people to be victims. So the first real principle is you have to start taking responsibility. You have to change your t-shirt. You have to get rid of the victim, blame someone else for where I'm at in life. That's the first principle. The second one is called develop fruity thinking. And it's all around, I guess, we'd know it more as your attitude, your mindset, your self-talk, but I just use the word thinking. In other words, the conversation's gone inside your head. And the thing that's interesting about thinking is it's a bit like breathing, because most of the time we're not even consciously aware we're doing it, and that the impact our thoughts can have on how we feel, and therefore the actions we take and then the results we get. In that principle, I also explore why we need to develop fruity thinking is because people get into faulty thinking and they get stuck on being a broken record, or they play Trivial Pursuit to make a mountain out of a molehill, or they suffer from what I call the inner critic, constantly beating themselves up. So I just help people to identify faulty thinking and then to develop fruity thinking. The third principle is called hippo time is okay. What do hippos do in mud? They wallow. And actually I believe, and I know some people in the world of motivation and personal development disagree with me, but I actually feel to sometimes feel mad, bad or sad is okay. Sometimes you need to have a wallow and engage in those what is sometimes perceived as negative emotions. The point is, it's okay, but it's temporary. Don't wallow for too long. The fourth principle is called remember the beach ball. And I have a beach ball when I'm speaking on stage. It's got 6 colours. And I say, okay, from your side of the beach ball, it's red, yellow and orange. From mine, it's blue, white and green. Who's right? Well, maybe we both are. And sometimes building a better relationships with people is about trying to understand their side of the beach ball, as well as communicate your perspective. And just understand that just because two people see things differently doesn't mean that one of them's wrong. We could both be right. So the beach ball is a lot about our relationships and just trying to help other people understand different perspectives. The fifth principle is called learn Latin. The phrase that I think of is carpe diem, seize the day, inspired by the film Dead Poets Society. And again, going back to a point I made earlier, life rewards action, not intention. And I love the word seize, because there's that real sense of we have to grasp and take hold of opportunities. The sixth principle is called Ditch Doris Day. She sang a song in an Alfred Hitchcock film in the 50s, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, the future's not ours to see. And I'm thinking, you know what, maybe that's not the most inspiring philosophical outlook on life. Why don't we set some goals, have some dreams, have some vision of the future, how we'd like it to be, not just in our work, but maybe also in our relationships, also in terms of our own recreation, our health and leisure, and also maybe set some goals about our contribution and how we can make a difference, not just to ourselves, but in the lives of other people. So in a nutshell, ditch Doris Day, and that's the sixth and final principle.